my name is Hannah, and welcome to my channel. It's Monday morning, the first Monday of November. For me, that's a pretty big reminder that I only have a few short weeks left until I'm done with my coursework and I fully transition into my dissertation hours for my PhD. So I've been making lists, I have work plans, and I've got a lot to get done. But being proactive a few weeks ago has set me up for not feeling completely drowning at this moment. However, still have a lot to get done. And today's Monday, which means it's my long day. I drive to Pullman on Monday afternoons to go to class, which is about an hour and a half each way from Spokane. So we're going to do that later. But you're going to come with me and we're going to have a great day. We're going to get a lot done. So buckle up. Monday morning always starts with meetings. This is especially true when it's the first Monday of the month. A lot of external committees and organizations and associations have their monthly meetings on Monday, especially the first Monday of the month. So my morning is booked solid. And I know that I'm going to have limited time to pivot from morning meetings to driving to Pullman. But that's just the name of the game. I got really lucky. My advisor at the time had agreed for me to take this class in Pullman so that I could complete my coursework this term. I was one course shy of completing everything, and I really didn't want to push to next semester. So I took this multi-language learner assessment course outside of my wheelhouse for sure. But it was a really interesting and unique experience studying people. Isn't Spokane just really pretty in the fall? I know it's Spokane and we can talk about that in and of itself, but to me, I think this is a really pretty city. There's a lot here for sure. But I have enjoyed these drives to and from Pullman. I feel like they've been really interesting and I've had good experiences on the drives. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I have made myself a lot of notes. I've had a good experience. And in a way, I think I'm really going to miss driving to Pullman, which is odd. I really can't believe I'm saying that. My professor for this course has indicated that I don't necessarily have to continue coming to Pullman for the rest of the semester. That's due to the fact that I've already submitted the projects and everything's turned in. And at this point, I'm showing up just to be in class. I don't really have to go through any of the motions of getting feedback or criticism on my work. She's already evaluated it and I'm in the clear. So at this point, I don't really have to go back to Pullman, which is an unusual reality for me. Knowing that I don't have to go back to Pullman, though, is a really interesting reality because it means that I can dedicate more time to my job or to my research or to being with my family. It saves me a lot of time because I don't have to send out my entire afternoon. Even though, luckily, a lot of my assessment or committee meetings are on Monday, and I'm able to take those from my car because even though I'm an active participant in those meetings, I don't normally have to present and I can listen just as well in my car. So I am able to multitask effectively while I'm on these drives. But usually I just end up listening to music and looking at the scenery and how the trees have changed. And I've enjoyed that immensely. It's been a good experience. To be honest, I really wish I could listen to audiobooks because I would have totally knocked out a few books from my to be read pile. However, audiobooks put me to sleep every time, no matter what. And podcasts can even put me to sleep. So listening, it does not work for me for reading. And I feel like I've missed I've missed out on reading this semester. I've not read as much as I normally do, and that's been a bit depressing. But once I'm no longer in classes, I will be able to resume reading again at my normal clip, and then I can move back into not having a disappointing Goodreads year. I do think my Goodreads is disappointed every time I log in and look at it. But regardless, I'm about to stop and get fuel or petrol, and then I can proceed on my way to Pullman. Driving to Pullman for my class this afternoon. It's raining. It's actually kind of a pretty day. The rain is just sort of elegant. I was getting gas and I got an email that my article was rejected. So this is the second time that this article has been rejected. So for me, that triggers an immediate review. I'm going to print the article in the morning, read it by hand, go through, edit it, and tighten up language, random bits that seem like they just don't work. I'm just going to do it again. And when I do that, I am going to reach out to some faculty, mentors, and see if they will give it a read through. And then I'm going to go back to the drawing board and look for another journal to submit to. I really think this is definitely an alignment problem, that I have like journals I want to publish in that don't align with the content of this article, and that's like my problem. It's not their problem, and like they're completely within their scope to reject something that doesn't align with their mission. And so I know that. I am trying to keep that in mind and not take it like personally, because desk rejections are like very normal if there's an alignment problem. So we've got a lot of work to do before I submit it again, but my goal is to definitely submit it again before the end of November. But everyone's going to go on vacation, so I'd really like to get it in before like the end of next week. once I get to Pullman, I normally have to take more meetings before my class. And in this scenario, I am taking a meeting that I started in my car, and I'm now taking it from the graduate student lounge where I can listen to the ongoing debate or conversation that's happening and be present on Zoom so that they see me and know that I'm active and listening. I do this a lot where I am on Zoom and I take the call from my car and then I transition into the building, either on campus or in Pullman. That's normal. And I do keep checking my camera because this is unusual for me. I feel very strange doing this. In public, I'm still getting used to filming myself. I do much better filming landscapes and things other than my face. And I could probably talk to my therapist about that, but that's not the point of this video. But this does get me through until my class starts, which has now happened. And this class is really interesting. Again, it's about multi-language learners and how we assess them in predominantly a K through 12 setting. So it's kind of outside of my general wheelhouse, but I enjoy the professor a lot. The students are all pre-service teachers, and they're really interesting. And I've enjoyed this class. It's so different from what I normally do, and I'm so glad that I took it. All right, it's the end of Monday night. I've got a study session that I might hang out for a couple of hours, or I might just call it and go lay down. It's been a long day. I will say that while I got my article rejection earlier, I texted my mentor in my chair and complained to both of them, to which they replied with, "Yep, rejection sucks, but we all have been there." So I'm working on revising it. I'll print it off tomorrow, edit it by hand. I always feel like I do a better job editing when I do it by hand. So I'll do that tomorrow. And then I'm trying to just continue getting ahead for the end of the term. I have a couple of final papers that have already been drafted, or at least pretty heavily outlined. So I know that I'm doing okay, but I feel the weight of the term sitting on my chest. So I want to focus on ending the term from a position of strength, which I feel I've done by sketching out work plans and preparing and things like that. But I'm not there yet, and I need to finish strong because I haven't worked this hard to end on a weak note. I wish I hadn't gotten a rejection today. I do feel like that's thrown me off a little bit, but I can persevere. It's just a rejection, and I'll do better. I'll figure out how to make it better, and then the work will be better, and then it'll find a home somewhere. I'm not sure about this format as opposed to doing voiceovers. If you have a preference one way or another, please let me know. I would actually really appreciate that feedback. But that's Monday. I hope you all had a great day. I'll see you next time.